Well, wait. Welcome back to Seen It Before. We're probably going to say something stupid about your favorite movie because we've seen it all before. And I'm Danny.
Are you? You don't sound too sure about that.
I think I don't know. I'm kind of like losing my mind a little bit because I've been living the same day over and over and over again.
Well, that sounds like a problem. See, like
I know.
Groundhog Day, Palm Springs, or in this case, Edge of Tomorrow.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yes, we're doing the 2014 breakout hit, I'd say. Nobody thought it was going to be as good as it actually is.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Christopher McQuarrie wrote it.
Okay, so that's where the Tom Cruise thing. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I mean, and Tom Cruise, of course, Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise.
Makes sense.
Way back to like 2010.
Oh, really?
Right? Isn't 2010 is Ghost Protocol? I think that one was him as well.
No, that was Brad Bird.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so the first one with McQuarrie was
I think Rogue Nation the year after this one.
Rogue Nation. Oh,
yeah, so
see, I thought Rogue Nation was before this one.
No, I'm pretty sure it's 20. Yeah, it was 2015 because I worked in the movie theater.
2018.
Then 2018's Fallout, and then this year's the.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. See, I'm not a big.
I'm a huge nerd when it comes.
I keep up denying that I'm not a Tom Cruise fan.
We've done 3 Tom Cruise movies in the past year.
Dude, what's going on? Like, I'm reliving some of these and seeing some of them for the first time. And I'm just like, Edge of Tomorrow is a lot better than I remember
right?
it being. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
I did not watch this movie recently. I watched it about a month and a half. Well, I guess that's recently. Like a month and a half ago, I watched this on a whim. I was like, I'll give it a second chance. And goddamn.
Yeah, I saw a video essay from Filmento. He was breaking down the genius of it and blah blah blah. And I'm like, I'm gonna watch it. And so that was 6 months ago. Though.
Yeah. But yeah, Edge of Tomorrow. We said we were gonna do this last week. Well, we weren't sure if we were gonna do this last week, but here we are this week doing it because we can never plan things correctly but hey, here we are. Let's get to it.
Come find me when you wake up.
And we're back. So Edge of Tomorrow 2014, written by Christopher McQuarrie, directed by
Doug Liman, I think.
Doug Liman, yes.
Yeah, he did Born Identity, the first one.
It's got that feel. It's got a Bourne movies with a Mission Impossible feel to it. Like it's just like it's exactly what it is.
Together. Who would have thought Groundhog Day but death would just be
Live, Die, Repeat? Wasn't this movie called Live, Die, Repeat? Something like that.
That's the main thing that everyone was confused about because
tagline.
It was the tagline, and then somebody at the poster, whoever made the poster, made that the biggest part of it, so everyone thought that was the title.
I mean, that just got a lot of talk around it, and I mean, it worked. It got people to go see the movie. Well, I mean, maybe that's not what got people.
It's a great tagline. I think it just encapsulates the movie exactly.
Yeah.
But but then they started they actually changed the name of it. It used to be just Edge of Tomorrow. Which I think is a fine title.
I like it.
I like Live, Die, Repeat too. Is the same amount. But then they smashed them together. So it's Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow. I think that's the official title now.
I don't think it is. It's still just Edge of Tomorrow on all these sites.
Oh, okay. Well,
I think maybe it was for a little while.
Yeah, because I remember I have this on disc. I ripped it, and my Plex server automatically titled it that.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I don't know. Things are confusing with
the title was, but yeah.
And also, it's adapted from a manga, which is translated to English called All You Need Is Kill.
Interesting. Well, this movie got a 91 critic score on Rotten Tomatoes and a 90 audience score. So
I think that's deserved.
It's very well deserved there. And I feel like this movie should have gotten, a little more because the CG in this movie, absolutely fantastic. The editing, even better. It didn't get nominated for anything because, big summer blockbuster doesn't get nominated for anything ever. So,
yeah.
But damn.
What won? Do you remember what won this year? Or it was the 2015 Oscars. So anyway, but this movie does deserve a lot more recognition than I think it has received. It's sort of like a cult classic, but it's it still was successful and with audience and critics. So it's
best editing is another one of our favorites for 2015.
What is it?
Whiplash.
Oh, okay.
It kind of makes sense there too.
Especially that movie with the broom broom with the drums and they're going back and forth in different cuts.
Oh my God!
Did you see the camera guy at the last scene where it's going back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah. Damien Chazelle was tapping the guy's shoulder and he would swing back and forth between the two shots. It's all one take. So that's just really cool. So yeah, it probably deserved a little bit better.
I would say it's definitely deserved. I'm gonna see if it was nominated. Hold on.
2014 was also a banger year. You had Guardians, you had Nightcrawler, you had Whiplash, obviously. What else?
Yes.
There's a bunch of other great movies that I saw like this like ranking list, and this is obviously one of them.
Yes, agreed. I'm trying to find best CG or whatever the hell it's called.
Best visual effects.
Visual effects. I'm trying to find that right now.
My balls
sound editing. It was not nominated for. Right. Sound mixing. It was not nominated for. Visual effects. It was not nominated.
Was it nominated for score? Because like I definitely like I had like a phase.
The winner was Interstellar, by the way, for visual effects, which also makes a lot of sense.
That makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, again, it's a banger year.
Winter Soldier was also up for nomination there.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh, good for them. Yeah, but
So
like
was Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah, that makes sense. But like the score was really good because I went through a phase where I was like listening to like old like movie scores at the time, and like I think this is still in my iPhone.
Yeah.
Whenever I got plug it in, it just starts playing a song from this.
Interesting.
So like I know like yeah.
Yeah, dude, the 2015 Oscars, not gonna lie, it's got a lot of real good stuff in it. Like,
Yeah.
this is a good year for the Oscars.
Wait, was this the year where like Oscars is so white? Was that the thing, or was it the next year?
2017.
Okay.
It was around that time, maybe 2018.
Yeah, I remember that being a thing because it's like
This is the year Birdman won Best Picture.
right.
So,
That was the year I got I started watching the Oscars.
yeah.
And then I dropped off, obviously.
Yeah, we shut up pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Oscars are great in some aspects, but like, it's just a mess.
Yeah.
Let's
I
get
mean-
into the movie. So it starts off with the main character. Or no, it starts off with all these news clips of the world being invaded by these mimics and how they work and all that stuff. Big exposition scene.
Mm-hmm.
And then we meet Cage, who's the main guy, Tom Cruise's character, and he's. I don't think he's a soldier. He's a.
He like kind of was able to rise above the ranks without actually being a private or a foot soldier at
he
any
was
point.
like some
like
marketing guy or whatever. I don't think he was actually like a soldier or anything.
Oh.
I don't know. Maybe I read that wrong.
Either way, he was never in combat. So
Yes.
he's like basically like a military politician. So like, but it's actually kind of cool. This because Tom Cruise obviously known for being a badass action star, and then he takes this movie where he has to start off as a coward and become a badass action star.
Yes, he's supposed to land in France and provide ground coverage to the media. He was a college ROTC cadet majoring in advertising.
Okay.
So
yeah,
he
wouldn't have ever
nothing-
touched if
nothing like
it's not Brendan Gleeson is a dick.
Oh my God, Brendan Gleeson's always a dick, but he's great.
It's like you've never fought in the war. Here you go.
You're gonna go to war, kid.
Yeah. So
yeah,
totally screws him over.
Starts the whole thing, meeting all the people that he's going to be with this whole movie, everybody involved.
And then he meets Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton's character,
One of his last roles that he played.
Rip.
That and Nightcrawler. 2014
Oh
was
my
a
God,
good year for him.
Nightcrawler. Another banger of a movie.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I think we covered that on.
Yeah, we covered that with Nick. Was that? Yeah, that was Movie Drunks.
was
Yeah, I remember
Drunks,
that.
yeah. Oh man, we had some good movies.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, he eventually ends up going into battle, storming the beach and all that stuff. Gets killed by a mimic, but mimic's blood got into him, so he now lives, dies, and repeats his life. Groundhog, a la Groundhog Day. So,
Yeah, so it's really cool. I think obviously like there's Groundhog Day was looked at as like a great example because anybody who knows anything about character arcs, you have a very kind of specific structure or like certain milestones the character has to hit.
yes.
And the thing is all about change. But what happens to like a character when they're not able to physically change? And that's how Groundhog figured that answer out by repeating the same examples and repetition and fixing your mistakes, and you become a better person through repetition. That was such a groundbreaking example at that time that like the guy who wrote the screenplay wrote a instruction book of it, and it's like kind of like the go-to. I mean, obviously, it's the go-to movie for this type of film.
Yeah,
it's the original. So yeah,
it's great. I mean, Palm Springs really took a lot of inspiration from that.
Yeah.
Oh god, I rewatched that movie again recently too, and I was like, damn, this is still good too.
Yeah.
But
they're able to find, like, anyone who makes a Groundhog movie, I think the good ones that have come out have understood you have to add an extra element or some sort of twist to it. Palm Springs was a comedy, and it was also, there was another person with you. And then this one,
and J.K. Simmons. So.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with little J.K. Simmons. In this one, you got Emily Blunt, who's just like fucking awesome,
badass.
As always.
Absolutely badass.
She's been through it before, so she knows what, so you have that character there with you.
Yeah. So let's get to that. So we find out he lives, dies, and repeats a few times, and then he eventually finds her. How does it happen again? So
he finds him. He finds her in the battlefield, and then he warns her, and she's like, "Oh, this guy knows what's gonna happen."
And she's like, "Find me when you die again."
Yeah, and then blows up.
Yeah. So he goes and finds her, and she's like, "Huh?
Who the fuck are you? I'm gonna beat the shit out of you."
Yeah, basically.
He has to like diffuse her every time. It's fucking hilarious.
It's hilarious. But then eventually he gets to learn, like, okay, yeah, whatever. There's like a secret. I don't know if it's a secret word or whatever, but like it's like there's a code that it works for.
Yeah, he like tells her like something that happened in Verdun that only she would know, or something like that.
Or in one case, talks about her boyfriend.
Wait, she has a boy. Wait,
she had a boyfriend.
Oh,
I'm pretty sure, and then she doesn't want to talk about it. That's the whole thing.
Oh, because like he died.
Because he died. Yeah, she doesn't want to talk about it. That's another thing that only Cage would know if he's been with her this long. Yeah.
Right. Okay. No, but it's just really cool because it's like, and then basically, so like she's like, "Oh, I understand where you're at. We need to get you fucking trained up." Because we get
and this is the exact opposite of Ethan Hunt, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, well, that's the greatness of it. Though.
I know,
because what people just don't seem to understand is that you need to show the character struggling in order to be reborn as the best version of themselves. Like, I mean, obviously, I've talked extensively about this, but Rey and Captain Marvel and blah blah blah. So they're just automatically perfect. And this is the perfect movie to be like, Tom Cruise, who we all know to be the badass action guy, is fucking failing in every single setup. And he dies, he gets paralyzed. Emily Blunt has to shoot him in the face. It's just,
bitch, bam.
It's just, yeah. So it's just so cool to see, like, and Tom Cruise doesn't have like an ego. So if like The Rock were into this, I think he'd be like, no, I can't. He hasn't, in his contract, he can't lose a fight.
Yeah. And the other thing is with this, if you ever have a transfusion, you're done, because that transfers the blood out of you, and you're fucked. Yeah. That's what happened to Emily Blunt's character. So
that's how she lost it.
No longer do that. What is the worst day you would ever want to repeat in your life? Like, you have to go through it every time, a Groundhog Day style. Ooh, right?
Do I want to be like for real or like, like a joke one?
Well, like, if you have a real example, sure, but like, or you could just like make up one.
I think a real shit one would be one time my parents and we all took a bike ride, and I was like 10, and so I'm like a little weak kid. Like, I was even scrawnier back then, if you can believe it. So we have this giant hill going up to our house, or like near it. So we were riding like for like 4 or 5 hours. It was fucking forever. Because we got lost and we went down a wrong path. And then by the end of it, we're so close to home, and I'm exhausted, and I'm just a little kid, and I'm trying to bike up this thing. And then my dad literally had to get off his bike, or like get to the top of the hill, drop his bike there, run down halfway, and start pushing me up. And I'm like, that was the worst fucking day ever. Like, I never want to do that again. But if I had to do that every fucking day, I would kill myself. But then I'd just be stuck where I was. So
you gotta get a transfusion, man. But,
what about you?
Yeah. Okay. So it would be, going to work, having to go through all the shit I go through at work, and then having to come here and do a podcast. No, just kidding.
Dick.
No, but my real example would be, oh God, what is it? I was 13 years old. It's how I got this scar.
Oh boy.
This nice little scar.
I think you've told me this too.
I'll zoom in on it eventually in post. But yeah, so I don't remember what happened earlier in the day, but like, it's just like the second half of the day. I don't want to relive it because, I'm hiding behind this shed. It's like a narrow little alley in between the shed and like a fence with a bunch of fence posts on it. So my brother's chasing me, and I try to maneuver my way out quickly, and I get my arm stuck on the fence post, and it just rips. I felt something. I was like, huh? What was that? And then just gushing. I'm like, Dad! Oh boy. Running up my deck. It's new. The deck is like less than a year old, and just a blood splatter all over it going up. And I burst into and I'm like, Dad! And he's like, oh! And then he makes me eat an English muffin before we go to the hospital. So
what?
It's like we were making English muffin pizzas, and then he wouldn't take me to the hospital. It was weird. So I had to relive that shit again. It's ridiculous, but. Yeah, that's something I would never want to relive.
Yeah,
again
that sounds awful.
Obviously, I'd probably learn from it after the first few times I die.
Yeah.
But, how would I die?
Yeah, you'd be like,
how would
I'm
I
about
die
to.
in that scenario? So you'd have to figure out how you would die in that scenario. So how would it?
Well, for years, if my arm was already in the fence, I would try to
it never got stuck in the it just ripped.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah.
I'd probably go back. I try to hit down the street, or down the road, not across the street. That kind of thing. What? It's quick.
I'm just saying, because
that's how I kill myself.
Relive that day. How would you end up dying at the end of that day, though, to start the repeat process? Like, how would it end up happening naturally?
Oh, car crash on the way to the hospital?
For you?
Yeah, or choking on the English muffin.
Choking on the English muffin.
That's a shit day. Eat your English muffin. Fuck no.
Have an allergic reaction to tomato sauce. Become septic.
That's somebody we know.
Back to the movie. After all that nonsense. Okay. So
we basically get into exposition dump from the manager who was he's the road manager for the band in Almost Famous. Yeah, he's like, ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over.
I don't remember his name, but yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'll find it.
Here, I thought he was the dad in Stuart Little.
Was it Skinner?
Skinner, that sounds right.
Jonas Armstrong?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know.
But yeah, he basically does an example. I don't know how he was able to come up with all this stuff and these theories about how the mimics act, but okay.
Yeah.
But he basically says that they're all the hive mind, and there's a beacon, there's like a heart of it, and it's hidden somewhere, and we don't know where that is, but Tom Cruise is getting flashes and visions of it, and he says it's at this dam in Siberia or something.
Yes, that's right.
But so they basically fight their way. He repeats and repeats and repeats, and they get over the front line that you see half.
They eventually keep moving more and more forward. Eventually, then there's another point in it where it's they just get fucked up. What was it?
Well, there's one part where they kind of get to the helicopter.
Yeah, but these mimics are fucking ridiculous, dude.
Yeah.
So before we get to the helicopter scene, these mimics straight up ruthless. Where do you come up with a concept for these things? Goddamn, it's
it seems like a mix of a xenomorph with some sort of Transformer cybernetics kind of thing, because they're all kind of spindly.
It totally could be something out of Transformers. It totally could be that without the talking. But
true.
But yeah, dude, those things don't go to the world. Yeah, we all be fucked. No matter what, we completely fucked.
Well, considering AI is becoming more and more prevalent, I think we're already there.
All right, yeah, we know you're terrified of AI. Chill.
Another Tom Cruise movie that I'm,
eventually we're going to see the second part of.
Yeah, I hope he beats the AI. That's all I'm saying.
He doesn't.
I need some hope.
He just dies.
I couldn't do it. Ethan Hunt beaten by a computer.
Yeah, that's the way he ends it. Okay.
Yeah, right. So during this, because we get to that scene.
The mimics get smarter too as it goes along. They start figuring this stuff out.
Right, because they reset with him, I think, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
So they know exactly what's going on. And he's their primary target.
Yeah. He eventually figures out where he's going, where he's trying to go, and they're following him.
Yeah.
So
I love this scene though when they get to the helicopter, because we kind of get a beat in between, so we don't exactly know how much time has passed for Tom or for Cage.
But it's a long time.
Yeah, it's
like Palm Springs long, probably.
Yeah, thousands of times.
Okay, maybe not. Okay, well, he's been there for thousands of years in Palm Springs, but
oh yeah.
Yeah, but it's probably not that.
But yeah, it's been a while for Tom Cruise, and he's gone through this. He's kind of, it's like at that part of the game where you're stuck at that one level. and like you every day you go back to it, and you're like, fuck me, why can't I do it? And he's just given up, and he's like, Rita, you got to stop. Like don't go for the helicopter, or no, don't go for the truck or whatever.
You die every time,
every single time.
And he can't see it anymore. He just doesn't want it to happen.
Yeah, because obviously during this movie, because he's growing attached because he's reliving the same day. She is getting her memory wiped. So it's also kind of like a 51st Dates situation too.
Yeah, in a way.
Where like she just doesn't know what's going on, but he has all these feelings for her, and he's grown so close to her.
He knows so much about her. Eventually, like as I said, with the boyfriend thing, she's just like, no, I don't talk about that. And then she eventually ended up talking to him about it that we saw off screen.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I wonder what he said to her, because he can only do it in a day.
Yeah.
For her to open up that much. I wonder how.
If he knows her that well, I mean, there are ways you can.
You definitely got to piece some stuff together over multiple days.
I mean, keep trial and error.
Yeah.
Maybe he just like tries so hard. He's just like, nope, kills himself. He goes back. I'm going to try this again. Dude, that's so fucking weird.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I can get past this.
Well, I love because like
again.
This movie also goes through a lot of like the basic 3-act structure, which is kind of funny because it's like you have the inciting incident, right, where he finds out that, or either he goes to war or he finds out that he can repeat.
Yes.
Then you have like the fun and games section where you have like the montage of all of them trying to get further and further, and like he's like a total loser and clumsy, and he doesn't know how to fight.
And eventually starts learning how to fight.
Yeah.
She starts training him too some of the times.
Yeah. The midpoint,
oh my God, the training montages are fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
He keeps dying.
He gets hit by the thing. He's like,
I'm fine.
You're paralyzed. My legs. No, I can still feel them. I think, here, look. She's like, no. Fucking awesome, dude. Yeah.
I forgot about that just now. I was like, oh my God, I forgot how good that is. But yeah, so they eventually end up at the Louvre, right? Yeah.
Well, they get to the Siberian mine or what, or the waterfall or whatever, the dam. That's what it. And yeah, damn, dude. He discovers that he was getting like a false vision, and he was getting lied to because the beacon thing, the heart mind knows
they're learning.
Yeah,
and they know.
So he's
after
like,
him.
Fuck, we need to go. And then I forgot how he figures out it's at the Louvre.
I can go through the synopsis right now.
But basically he figures that out, and then he goes to tell Brendan Gleeson again with Emily Blunt, hey, we can't attack on the front lines on the beach in Normandy, or is it Normandy or some other place?
It's a yeah.
But he's like, we can't. And then Brendan Gleeson's like, you're fucking crazy. He gets in a car chase.
It's a German dam, by the way.
Okay, German dam. But you see, basically, they get caught by the military police. He ends up getting blood transfusion. So So now he loses the power. So now he's left on his own. He's got one life left, and he knows exactly where the heart is. He just needs to assemble a team. So. I fucking love when he's like assembles like his like because throughout the movie there's like this like team of like of soldiers that he gets paired up with, and they all got their own personalities. There's like the guy with the cards. There's the guy with the he's kind of a smart mouth and whatever. Yeah. Getting them is fun because like he's lived the day over and over again, so he knows all their moves. So he's like, I've fought this fight so many times, and he's like. Every punch they throw, he's like, nope, dodges everything, and like
it's just so fun.
He's like, are you guys convinced yet? He's like, fuck you, and he still goes again.
Yeah. So the way they figure out how it's at the Louvre is that so the Omega was sending a false signal as we figured that out. But they end up figuring out how to get there is because. At the general's office, Brendan Gleeson's character, they infiltrate like the Ministry of Defense and all that stuff, and has to give them a transponder of some sort because troops are going. The troops already know that they're going there, and the mimics let them win at the Battle of that beach. So like that's it. There's like a whole fucking thing going on. So it's like
they think they win, but then they take over from another sneak attack.
Yeah, it's like a what's the term? It's a
false victory.
Not false flag or false victory, but like a. A ruse. It is
A ruse.
We'll call it a ruse.
Yeah, it's a ruse.
We'll call it a ruse.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they go to the Louvre, and then just there's a device that they have to basically implant to kill the Omega, and typical big final battle thing. Got to blow up the thing, and it's on his last life, as you mentioned. So yeah, he blows it up before he dies. I think before he dies, though, like. Does he get infected with the stuff again? Right when he blows them up?
It's it's kind of going. It's like a highs and lows when they're getting to the battle because like as they're flying the thing, the ship gets shot down. They lose a few people.
Right.
Emily Blunt, I think she has to end up leaving right at the end. And then Tom Cruise is like he's alone and he's got like grenades. And so like he's about to like stab the thing. And with the device thing that they got, then you think that the hive mind wins because he's like, oh fuck, he gets stabbed in the stomach.
That's right.
But then he reveals like he's got all the pins in his hand that are attached to him, so he blows up right next to the thing, and then that's how he wins.
Yes. And then it ends with him waking up in the helicopter again, I believe.
Yes, because he's back on the tarmac.
No, it's not the tarmac. He wakes up in the helicopter. I remember that, like on his way to the tarmac. I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
I think.
So then he's like, wait, no, turn around, because we're we saved the war, or the war was won, right?
Yeah, he awakens. Yeah, on the helicopter en route to London. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then they all meet again. It's like going through the same day, but there's no mimics. So it's just like.
And I love the final shot of this because he's like, whoa, like. We all won. There's no news reports again saying, hey, everything's fine. We're all good. Humanity's saved. And then he goes to see Rita one more time because, again, they're both reset. He remembers everything, though. Or no, she's reset. He goes up to her and she does, I'm not sure,
the morning pose thing that she's doing.
The push-up things, yeah.
The morning pose.
She's like, what do you want? Fuck you. And he's just like, and he just kind of like chuckles, and then that's how it ends. I'm like, perfect.
Yep, because, hey, now he can either end up with her or I'm pretty sure there is a sequel in development to this. I just don't know how they're going to take it from there because it ended sort of open, but like it sort of just had a happy ending. It could have just been a one-off.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't. I wish they would just leave it alone because I think it's perfect. But my one wish list is that they don't get together in the sequel because I just like them as like just buddies. Yeah.
Here I'm looking online right now to see what there's. Oh god, this is Screen Rant, so take it with a big grain of salt. But
I hate Screen Rant so much.
Emily Blunt is not optimistic that it's going to happen. But she is open to reprising, obviously. I
wonder if she'd accept it though.
There's a script already.
If it's because it's like we're living in modern Hollywood right now, and she's actually one of the only actors that I've seen come out and be like, yeah, whenever I see strong female, woman in the role in the script, I'm like, I'm out. I don't want to do this. So, if they wrote her original character, so she knows exactly how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
If it's anything different from that, she's going to be out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if it's Christopher McQuarrie writing again, it's going to be fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
again because Christopher he gets it too because Haley Atwell, she was just a no-name citizen. Just a pickpocket in Dead Reckoning, and she was badass towards the end of it, but she still wasn't perfect.
Yeah, it hasn't. Yeah, it has not been greenlit yet or anything. But there's apparently Emily Blunt's seen a script, according to this. But that's it. I mean, there's obviously all the Mission Impossible stuff going on right now. Tom Cruise is focused on all of that. So I don't know. It's gonna have to be a time jump because it's been a long time.
Yeah.
Unless they're gonna de-age Tom Cruise, but like
I wonder what the threat would be though, because it's like I think it would be cheap to bring back the mimics. Like, oh, we thought they were dead. They just pulled another switcheroo beacon twist on us.
No, I think it would have to be like an actual real world crisis to Mission Impossible. See, that didn't get too close to Mission Impossible. That's probably why they're trying to make it different.
Yeah. I mean, they got the exoskeletons.
They could do AI, but like
they could. But then it's also like, how do you introduce or do you even use the live, die, repeat mechanic? That's what makes this. That's the foundation of this movie.
It's a good one-off, and I don't think there should be a sequel because this movie's just
it's like they didn't make a Groundhog Day 2.
No,
that's dumb.
Haven't made a Palm Springs 2 either.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, I think this movie is good enough on its own where it doesn't need a sequel. As much as Hollywood wants to do all the sequel trains and franchising things, leave it alone.
Yeah.
Just leave it alone. It's a great movie on its own, and you can go back to it anytime you want. It's a fun movie.
There's not many movies that are classics. This is almost a classic. We're still like a few years away from it, but
more than a few years away from being a classic.
Is it 20?
I think it's 20 years.
Yeah, so we're a while. But like I think this has the potential to be one.
Honestly.
And there's not many other classics that have sequels.
Yeah.
You know, that were made so long apart.
Yes. I want to look up one more thing with this.
And when they do that, it's bad. I didn't really like Anchorman 2 or Zoolander 2.
Yeah. So this movie,
Dumb and Dumber 2, all comedies.
yeah. So, all right, the budget, $178 million, roughly. And it only made $370 million worldwide. So that's just about breaking even, I'd say, with marketing and all that stuff.
Critical and audience, like, you know,
real high.
Real good. Yeah.
You don't want, again, if it just broke even, leave it alone. It already did its job. It made you a little money, if anything.
I feel like that's what matters more, though. It's like if people like it, you know, they'll.
Yeah, honestly, if people like it, leave it alone.
Like critics, I take with a grain of salt because they're kind of lost in their
straight even 90 and 91.
If they're both up there, I trust the audience a lot more.
Yeah,
but if they're both up there, then I know it's going to be a really well thought out movie, but that also has great entertainment value. So, and that's I mean, this movie. So yeah,
absolutely. So what are you going to give it?
I'm going to give it a 90. I think it's as close to perfect as you can make this. There are a few mechanics that I've seen a lot that are just being utilized with not too much twists on it, but like when you look into it, you can't exactly get away from it.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't really fault it too much. But yeah, 90 is a really good score.
I'm going to agree with you. It's a 90. It's a fantastic movie, and goddamn, now I want to watch Mission Impossible movies, and I hate myself. I still haven't seen Fallout, and I know it's a great movie. I know.
I think it's honestly 5, 6, 7 are like they're so close together in quality. I think 6 is more fun for me to watch. 5 is like there's one or two sequences in there, especially the one where
Which one is 5 again?
That's the one where Ilsa is introduced. It's
no, isn't the name
Rogue Nation.
Rogue Nation.
Yeah,
haven't seen that one. Okay.
That one is the first one I ever saw. So I'm like already starting off like, you know, quality.
I started at 1. Like, yeah, I should. Yeah.
Anyway. But like 1 isn't even like, it's not even like the rest of the franchise.
It's a classic though.
Yeah, no, don't give it like that. You know, everyone still talks about that one scene. That's iconic. Like, yeah,
absolutely iconic. It's a piece of cinema history right there.
Yeah,
we're Seen It Before. You can find us on Instagram and TikTok with the handle @SeenItBeforecast. That's SCENE @Beforecast, and on Twitter with the handle SIB_pod. I'm Dan.
I'm Danny. You can find my Instagram at Danny_Was, my Letterboxd and Serialized at DJ Was, or my YouTube channel, which is just Danny Was.
You sounded a lot more confident on your name that time.
Danny Was? Am I Danny Was? I don't know.
Are you? Now you're confusing me.
I'm DMB.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't. Okay.
I don't know. Are we done?
I don't know. Are we done? We'll see you next time.